My name is Sarah, and I've been wanting to start this for a while, and it sucks because, I wanted to pass, and I wanted to have my voice down, and I wanted to be able to be confident, but it's just so hard, and, it's fine. It's fine. I started estrogen around April 5th, and they put me on 1 milligram of estradiol, and I'm taking the pill. And I've been on that for, it's about 3 months now. One of the biggest hurdles, one of the biggest topics of my transition that affected me so much, and why it took 19 years for me to finally accept myself, and that is the concept of passing. I grew up loving girly stuff to an extent, but I also grew up loving cars and boy stuff. I've always been a bit of a tomboy. I like to be feminine, but I also like to be masculine. I like both, and it took me forever to realize I could have both. It wasn't until I got into elementary school where I realized, where I got called names for wearing this red winter coat that I loved, and it was in no way feminine, and I got made fun of for it. As I got older, I tried so hard to fit in. I knew from a young age that I liked men, and I like women too, but I knew I liked men, and I tried so hard to just ignore that. I didn't even try dating one until I was 18, and I tried to stay away from all that, because from the moment that I knew what transgender was the moment that I had this vision of this knuckly, hairy, deep-voiced trans woman, and that was always what I imagined in my head. Not that that's an issue, but that's the internalized transphobia that I had about not being able to pass, and about not being able to be the girl that I am. And as I've started my transition, I'm only a few months in, and I'm still only part-time. And I've confronted these ideas of passing, and these ideas of what makes a woman, and these ideas of being okay with not being normal. As I started to accept myself, I've come to accept the trans women that don't pass well, and the people who like to do drag. And I try not to bring drag into this because it is in no way related to trans females, but so often it's conflated with them. And for the longest time, I thought trans women and drag queens were interchangeable, and also gay men. I thought they were all interchangeable. That was the inner whatever, I don't know why, I just thought that they were. And the number one word that I had associated with that was disgusting, deviant, just, you don't want to be that. And because of this concept of this trans woman that doesn't pass, I had this awful internalized transphobia. I hated myself so much for that, because I felt, because if I was to pursue this path, that would mean I would be some 90-year-old with a deep voice and a Adam's apple, and I would never be able to pass. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because at the end of the day, it's not the 90-year-old lady with an Adam's apple and the deep voice and the hairy knuckles. That is the deviant or the disgusting one. It's the fucking assholes who judge them. Because it's so hard to be that trans woman that does not pass. It is so hard to be that. At my place of work, I work in a retail job. So, I deal with a lot of customers. I often get people who I can clock as maybe they're trans. And, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes it does. And it's really more just like, oh my god, are you one? Are you one? Oh my god, I am one too. But you don't know it because I'm in boy mode. But, like a inside joke kind of thing. But this trans woman came in so this trans woman came in and she was wearing a nice dress and she looked pretty, but her voice was so deep. Like mine is right now. My voice is so deep and I hate that. It's one of the many reasons why I delayed doing YouTube for so long, and one of the biggest reasons of my dysphoria is my fucking voice. And this poor girl just had a deep voice, and her Adam's apple was visible, just like mine is, and my gut instinct was to be like, ew, and to back off and be like, fall into that internalized transphobia, that instinct to hate and to villainize her and to put her into this box of this disgusting other. And I caught myself and I was like, I should not treat her any other way than I treat any other customer. And I didn't. Self-hatred that I projected on other people. And this idea of passing that society has pushed onto trans people, specifically, is so fucked. And it really screwed with me. It really did. Because there's part of me that feels like that's going to be me. And very well, maybe I might not be passable, and there is nothing wrong with that. But damn, does it scare me. Because I don't want to be ostracized. I don't want to be queer. I don't want people to point at me and say, you are different, and you are not like the rest of us. Now that I think of it, I don't think that it's not wanting to be queer. I think I love being queer. I love that I can be attracted to so many different people. And I love that my gender expression doesn't have boundaries. And that all I want to do is just be a girl. These trans women that were inspired by the first brick throwing in Stonewall in 1969, who were visible, didn't get discrimination, and it's something that, for as scared as I am, I have the privilege to draw from the amazing men, women, and bees that have gone before me and fought for my rights and fought for my ability to even exist. And it sucks that I'll have family that'll disown me. It really does, but I can't see any other future where I'm happy and wanting to live. That's not me living my truth as Sarah. And the only reason why passing even exists is because this idea that we need to... One is stealth, because some people need that. Need to be able to pass so they can be safe and not be discriminated against and not harassed for being trans. But it is also on society to not fucking harass people and discriminate and kill people who do not pass and who are trans and who are physically trans. If it wasn't for the awful depictions of these trans women as traps trope on TV growing up as a kid, I would have accepted Sarah long ago. I would have been a little happier. And unfortunately, there's a lot of trans kids who aren't able to get past the idea of get past it, whether it's because they have unsupportive parents or friends or area, whether they're in a country where their existence is not legal, or whether because they don't feel comfortable with it. And we have the right to be able to pass, and passing should be something that we do because we want to, not because we need to. And if you don't pass, you are still fucking beautiful, and you are still fucking lovable. And it took me so fucking long to learn that. I'm still learning that. But if you don't pass, your self-worth is not linked to that. Your self-worth is still incredibly high. You have worth, and your worth is not linked to your ability to pass as a fucking man or woman. I'm just extremely scared. But that's okay. Me and all the other trans kids that are too scared to be ourselves can draw from the strength of the trans women who do and can be themselves and who overcome insane obstacles, and it's incredible. Because it's not... A lot of people like to say it's out of bravery, and it's out of like, oh, you had the courage to do this. No. Like, I guess a little bit, but no. It's because we have to. I just want to be a girl, goddammit. It shouldn't make me brave. It shouldn't make me courageous. It shouldn't make me different. It shouldn't make me anything. It's just who I am. But no matter who you are, you're valid. I don't give a shit what any other goddamn fucking asshole says. You're valid. It sucks that I even have to say that. It sucks that we even need to have validation because we really shouldn't. Passing can be important, but it can also be incredibly harmful. And if you don't pass, that doesn't mean you're lesser than. You're not gross or snobby or... No, you're not... If you don't pass, you're not lesser than. Like how I don't pass at all. And I can tell you, Even though I'm terrified to go out in public, not passing, very visibly and audibly not passing. I'm terrified, but maybe someday I won't be. Anyways, that's enough for today. I promise you the videos will get better. And it won't just be about trans stuff, it'll also be about film and TV and books and music and sketches and comedy and it's just my creative outlet spewing at you. I hope whoever the fuck sees this likes what they see and they like, comment, subscribe. I would love to try to, I don't know, build some kind of community. Who knows? Because I really need it. And as long as you need it and I need it, we can draw from our own strengths. Like, I can draw strengths and advice from you guys, and then I can try to give as much as I can. I'm going to link down to some resources, some hotlines, some things that you can reach out to. And please, if you are in need of help, please call one of the hotlines or find someone to talk to, because it is incredibly helpful. And trust me, I know I'm a stranger, but trust me when I say you have self-worth. No matter what any fucking asshole says. I love you, and I'll see you next week. I don't know.